各位代表
Deputies,
第13届全国人民代表大会第5次会
the
议
fifth session of the 13th National People's Congress has scheduled attendance of 2,951. Today we have
出席
actual attendance
2790
of
人，
2,790, with 161 absent. The number of actual attendance is up to the requirement.
现在我宣布，
Now I declare
中华人民共和国第13
the
届
fifth
全国人
session
民代
of the
表大会
13th National People's Congress of the People's Republic of China is inaugurated.
请全体起立，
Please all rise
唱国歌。
and sing the national anthem.
请坐下。
Please be seated.
各位代表，
Deputies,
今天的全体会议有7项议程。
today's meeting we have 7 items on the agenda. Let's begin with the first one, to deliberate the government work report.
下面，
Now
请国
let's
务院
give the
总理
floor
李
to
克强
Premier
同志
Li Keqiang
做报
of the
告
State Council to deliver the report.
"各位代表，
Fellow deputies,
现在我代表
now
国
on
务
behalf
院
of the State Council,
向大会
I will now
报告政
report
府
to
工
you
作
on the work of the
请予
government
审议，
and ask for your deliberation and approval,
全国政
and
协委
also ask
员
members of the National
提出
Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference for their comments.
2021年
First,
工作回顾。
review of our work in
过去一
2021.
年
Last year
是党和国家历史上
was
具有
a
里
milestone
程
in the
碑意义
history of the Communist Party of China
以
and our
习近平
country.
同志为核心的
The
党中
CPC
央
Central Committee with
团
Comrade Xi
结带
Jinping
领
as
全
core
党全国各族
united
人
and led the whole party and
隆
Chinese
重
people
庆
of
祝
all
中国
ethnic
共产
groups
党成立
celebrated
100周
the
年，
centenary of the Communist
胜
Party
利
of
召
China.
开党的
We successfully
19
convened
届
the 19th
6中
CPC Central Committee,
制定党的
where
第
a
3个
resolution of the party's major achievements and
如期
historic
打赢
experience
和平攻
over
坚
the
战，
past century was adopted. We declare
如期
victory in poverty
建全面
alleviation,
建成
and we
小
achieve
康社会，
the first
实现
centenary goal
第一个
to building
百
a
年奋斗
moderately
目标，
prosperous society in all
开启
aspects,
全面
and
建
began
设
a new
社会主
journey
义现代化
towards
国家，向第
the
二
second
个
centenary
百
goal
年
of
奋斗
building
目
a
标
modern socialist
进军
country
新
in
征程。
all aspects.
1年来，
Last
面
year,
对复杂
facing
严峻的
complicated and challenging
国内外形势
circumstances
和诸
both at
多
home
风
and
险挑
abroad,
战，
as well as many risks and
全国
challenges,
上下
all of
共
us
同
throughout the country work
统
hard
筹疫
as
情
one.
防控，
We responded
和
to
经济社会
COVID-19
发展
and pursue
全
economic
年
and social
主
development.
要目标任务较好完
We
成，
have accomplished the main
14
targets for the
实
year
现
and got
良好
the
开局，
14th five-year plan
我国
off
发
a
展
good start.
又取得
And once
新
again,
的
we secured
重大
a new
成
and
就。
major achievements in our country's development.
经济保持
The economy continued to recover and
国
grow.
内生产总值
China's gross domestic products reached 114 trillion yuan, growing 8.1%.
全国财政收入
National fiscal revenue exceeded 20 trillion
增
yuan,
长10%
growing 10.7%.
城镇新增就业
A total of
1269万人，
69 million
居民消
urban
费价
jobs
格
were
上涨
added.
10%，
CPI rose by
创新
0.9%.
能力进一步增强。
A basic equivalent was maintained at the balance of the payments. And also we made
企
a lot
业
of
研发
achievements in the
经费
innovation.
增长
The corporate
15.5%。
spending has been grown by
经济结构和
15.5%.
区域布局
The economic
细致
structure
优化
and regional development
粮食
priorities
产量
were refined. The
1.37
grain
万亿
output reached a record high of
高技术
685
制造
million
业
metric
增加值
tons.
增长
The value added of the high-tech manufacturing
18.2%。
sector grew by
改革开
18.2%.
放不断深化，
We continue
供
to
给
step
侧
up efforts
结
in
构性
reform
改
and
革
opening up,
深入推进，
and especially
放
on the
管服
supply
改
side
革
reform,
取得
and
先
we
进
have
感。
made achievements
市场
in
主体
streamlined
总量
administration and
超
delegate
过
power and improved regulation and upgrade services. Total number
高
of
质
market
量贡
entities
献
supplies
“一带一路”
surpassed 150 million mark.
货物进出口
We have
总
pushed
额
forward
增
the
长
high-quality development,
21.4%。
and the goods
生态文明
of the
建设
trade grew
持
by
续推进，
21.4%.
主要污染物
Ecological
排放量
conservation was
继
enhanced.
续下降，
We continue to reduce the
生态环境
pollution
质量明显改善，
discharge, and also we are
人
significantly
民生
improve
活水
the
平
quality of the environment. The living standards of our people have risen rapidly,
巩固
and also we consolidated our efforts in poverty alleviation.
基本医疗
Inputs in basic elderly care, basic medical care, and social assistance were increased.
新开工改造
New
城
steps were
镇老
taken
旧
in
小
the
区，
reform and development of the education. The renovations began on 56,000 old and urban residential communities. Our gains in COVID-19 response were
接种
consolidated.
覆盖率超过
The vaccination rate
85%，
is above
及时有
85%.
效处置局部地区
We have effectively coped with the sporadic cases in different
生命安
places.
全和身体
We
健康。
have ensured the health and safety of our people and maintained the normal order in work and life. Reflecting on the past
得来
1 year,
初为
we
不
could
易，
see that our achievements did not come easily.
深入贯彻以习近平同志为核心的党中央
In face of the
决策
difficulty, we fully implemented the
贯彻
decisions made by
落
the
实中央经济工
CPC
作会
Central
议精神
Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping as
完整
core.
准
We
确
also
全面
fulfilled
贯彻
the guiding
新发
principles
展
of
路
the Central Economic World Conference and applied the
六
new
管工作
development philosophy.
宏观政策
We also make sure that we can ensure stability on 6 key fronts and security in 6 key
各种
areas.
风险挑战，
We are able to deal with all risks and challenges. Our main work are as follows. First,
保持宏观政策
we kept
连续
macro
性、
policy
针对性，
consistent and targeted
推动经济运行保持在
and
合理
make the
水平。
major economic indicators
宏
within
观
the
政策
appropriate range.
保持
Our
对
micro
经济
policies
恢复
facilitated
必要支持
cross-cyclical adjustments and also provide support for
考虑
economic
为
recovery.
今年
We also
应对
took
困
into
难
account the
挑
need
战
to
预留
leave ample policy space for meeting difficulties and challenges this year. We established a
财
regular
政资金
mechanism
直达机
to
制，
directly allocate budgetary
有
funds
效实施
to
稳
other
健的货
places.
币政策，
We take a
强化
prudent fiscal
稳岗
policy,
扩就业
stabilize
政
the
策落实。从全年看，
employment, and
主
support
要
the
宏观经
employment.
济指标符合预期，
And for the
财
whole year,
政赤字率
the
和
prudent
宏
monetary
观
policy
杠杆
take
率
good
下
effect
降。
and lower the
经济
reserve
增速
ratio tries to facilitate the reduction of the low interest rates.
二是优化和落实助
We
企
refine
纾困政
and
策，
implement the policies for easing the difficulties of business and consolidating
上
the
亿市场主体，
foundation of
承载
economic
着
recovery.
数亿人
As over 100 million market entities have given
宏观
several
政策
hundred
连
million
续
people
疫
the
情发生
opportunities
以来
to go
行
into
之有
business,
效的支持路径做法。
and also we provide a lot
去
of
年
support
新增
for the
减
anti-epidemic
税
fight.
降费
The tax and the fee cuts last
1
year
万亿元，
last year totaled more than 1 trillion
也
yuan.
是涵养税源新增的涉税市场。
The tax payment were postponed for micro, small, and medium enterprises in manufacturing as well as coal-fired power plants and heating supply enterprises as temporary
改革
measures.
扩大开放，
Third, we deepened reform, expanding opening up, and continue to improve the business environment.
设企
We continue to reduce the number of procedures and the length of time it takes for enterprises to gain government approval.
公平竞争，
We need to ensure a
加大
fair
稳
marketplace.
外贸、稳外资，
We have to stabilize the foreign trade and foreign investment. Fourth,
强化创新引领，
we promoted innovation-driven development and stabilized industrial and supply chain.
将制造业企业
We
研发
boosted
费
the development
加
of the
计扣
national laboratory and prompted the implementation of major science and technology programs. We reform and refine the management of the central government funding for scientific and the technological research. Fifth, we will promote the coordinated development between rural and urban areas and between the regions and improve the structure of the economy. We have to take strong efforts for the coordinated development.
乡村振兴。
We have to advance the
六
rural
是加
revitalization.
强生态
Six,
环境保护，
we strengthened the environment protection and promoted sustainable
蓝天
development.
碧水，
We consolidate our gains in keeping the sky's blue waters clear and land pollution
生态
free.
保护修复，
And we continue our key projects in restoring ecosystems and also release the action plan to reach the carbon
着力
emission
保障和
by
改善民生
2030.
加快发展
Seven, we work to ensure and improve the people's well-being and accelerated development of social programs, and we work and shore up weak links in rural compulsory
每
education.
人每年
Increased the subsidies
增加4000元，
by 4,000 yuan per person
上
per
调
year.
退休人员基本养老
The
金，
basic pension for retirees was
更多常
increased,
见病等门诊费用纳
and
入
we also
医保报销范围，
include
经过精心筹备，
the scope of the subsistence allowance scheme and also expanded OD scheme.
精彩的北京冬奥会，也一定能
China
办
has presented the world with a simple, safe, and splendid 2022 Winter Olympic Games, and the Paralympic Games, which has just opened, will undoubtedly also be a great
八
success.
是
Eight,
推进法治
we
政
made
体建
progress in building a rule of law government and developing new ways of governance, and maintained social harmony and stability.
全国人大常
We
委会
submitted
审议法律意见10部，
10 legislative proposals to the Standing Committee of the NPC for deliberation and formulated
创新城
and
乡基层
revised the set of regulations. We also handled proposals of the deputies. We also cracked down the wrongdoings and also the criminal
努力保
cases.
障人民群
We
众
also
生命财产安全，
do everything we can to protect the
贯
people's
彻落实
lives
党
and
中
the
央全
property.
面从严治党战略部署，
We implemented the Party Central Committee's strict decision to exercise full and strict party self-governance. We carried out activities, studied the history of the CPC, and did more to improve party conduct. And we also continue our efforts implementing the leadership's 8-point decision, and also continue our steps to ease the burdens of those working on the ground. We advance China's major country diplomacy on all fronts. President Xi Jinping and other party and state leaders attended via video link major diplomatic events, including the 76th UN General Assembly, the 16th G20 Leaders Summit, the 28th APEC Economic Leaders Meeting, the 13th BRICS Summit, the special summit to commemorate the 30th anniversary of China-ASEAN dialogue relations,
合作论坛
the
部长级
opening
会议
ceremony
东亚合作领导人系
of
列
the China-Africa Cooperation, the East Asia Leaders Meeting on Cooperation, and the 13th Asia-Europe Meeting. We also successfully hosted a number of major diplomatic events. We promoted the building of a human community with a shared future, and also worked with other countries to advance international cooperation on COVID-19 response.
为促进世
We
界
have
和平与
thus
发展
contributed
做出了
our share
积极
to
贡献
promoting world peace and development.
各位代表，
Fellow
过去一
deputies,
年取得的成绩，
we owe our achievements last year to the strong leadership of the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, the sound guidance of Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era,
全党
and the concerted efforts of the party, the armed forces, and the Chinese people of all ethnic groups. On behalf of the State Council, I wish to express sincere gratitude to all our people and to all other political parties, people's organizations, and public figures from all sectors of society. I express heartfelt appreciation to our fellow countrymen and women in the Hong Kong and Macau SAR, in Taiwan, and also overseas. I also wish to express heartfelt thanks to the governments of other countries, international organizations, and friends across the world who have shown understanding and support for us in China as we pursue modernization. While recognizing our achievements, we are also very clear about the problems and challenges before us. We have seen the external environment increasingly volatile, grave, and uncertain. Domestically, we're also under the triple pressure of shrinking demand, disputed supply, and weakening expectations. The MSEs are still facing the difficulties in production and business operations, and we also have the further work to do in our party's conduct and also the work of the government. Some local governments use one-size-fits-all or campaign-style approaches in policy implementation. A small number of officials either shirk their responsibilities, fail to do their jobs, or behave irresponsibly. Some officials, by disregarding serious infringements on the rights and interests of the people, have been derelict in their duties. Corruption remains a common problem. We must be more mindful of potential difficulties, face problems and challenges squarely, make every effort to deliver a satisfactory performance, do our utmost to live up to people's expectations. 2. Overall requirements of and policy orientation for economic and social development in 2022. This year, the Communist Party of China will hold its 20th National Congress, so this year is of great significance. For the government to deliver, we must, under the strong leadership of the Party Central Committee with Communist Xi Jinping at its core, follow the guidance of Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, implement the guiding principles of Party's 19th National Congress and all plenary sessions, carry forward the great founding spirit of the party, act on the general principle of pursuing progress while ensuring stability, apply the new development philosophy in full and right way and in all fields of endeavor, and move faster to create a new pattern of development, deepen reform and opening up in all sectors, and pursue innovation-driven development, and promote high-quality development, advance supply-side structural reform as the main task, respond to COVID-19, and pursue economic and social development in a well-coordinated way, ensure both development and security, continue to ensure stability on 6 key fronts, and maintain security in 6 key areas, keep working to improve people's lives, and strive to maintain stable macroeconomic performance, keep major economic indicators within the proper range, and maintain overall social stability. And we will pave the way for a successful 20th National Party Congress. A comprehensive analysis of evolving dynamics at home and abroad indicates that this year our country will encounter many more risks and challenges, and we must keep pushing to overcome them. The harder things get, the more confident we must be, and the more solid steps we must take to deliver outcomes. The fundamentals of our economy remain unchanged, and they will maintain long-term growth. We have many favorable conditions for sustaining development, and our people in hundreds of millions aspire to a better life, have huge potential for starting businesses and engaging in innovation. And there is no doubt that China's economy will withstand any downward pressure and continue growing steadily long into the future. The main projected targets for development this year are as follows: GDP growth of around 5.5%, over 11 million new urban jobs, a surveyed urban unemployment rate of no more than 5.5%. CPI increase of around 3%.
居民收入增长与经
Growth
济增长，
in personal income that is basically in step with economic growth.
进出口保稳提质，
Steady increases in both the volume and quality of imports and exports, a basic equilibrium in
粮
the
食产
balance
量
of
保持在
payment.
1.3
Grain
万亿
output
斤
of
以
over
上，
650
生态环境质
million
量
metric
持
tons.
续改善，
Further improvements
主要
in the
污染
environment,
排放量
continued reduction in the discharge of
能
major
靠强
pollutants,
度目标在
energy consumption
14
per unit of
规划
GDP
期
to
内
be assessed with appropriate flexibility within the framework of the 14th five-year plan
可再生能源
and the exclusion of newly added renewable energy and coal,
能源消费总量控制，
petroleum, and natural gas consumed as the raw material in the total amount of energy consumption. The above economic growth target
稳就业
is based mainly on the need to maintain stable employment, meet basic living needs, and guard
高
against
基数
risks.
上的中高
It
速
represents a medium-high rate of growth given our large economic aggregate, and that
完成
demonstrates
今
our
年
ability to
发
move
展目标
proactively.
任务，宏观政策
That also
要
require
稳健
arduous efforts. To fulfill the development goals and the tasks for the year, we should pursue prudent and effective macro policies that can continuously energize market entities. And we should also look at the structural policies that facilitate
改
smooth
革开放
flows
政策
in the
要
economy.
激活发展动力，
And
区
we
域政
should
策
also
要增强
to look
发展
at
的
the regional
平衡性
policies
协调
that should be ensure more
社会
balanced
政策
and coordinated
要
development,
都
and
都
social
牢
policies
形
should
成
meet basic living needs.
要保持宏观政策连续性，
Macro policies should be kept consistent and made more
积极的财
effective.
政政策要
The
提升效
proactive fiscal policy should be
稳健的
more
货币政策
factual,
要
more
灵
targeted,
活适度，
and the prudent
就
monetary
业优
policy
先
should
政
be
策
both
要
flexible
提
and
质
appropriate.
加力，
And
政
the
策发力
employment first
适当
policy should be pursued with intensified efforts to deliver the desired
确保
outcomes.
经济平稳运行，继续做好
The policy
常态
should
化
produce
疫情
effects
防
early on, and the policy tools we have in reserve should be promptly deployed.
不断
Regarding
优化完善
COVID-19, we need to further prevent inbound cases and domestic resurgence.
局部疫情，保持
For the domestic outbreaks, we need to deal with the situations in a
今天工作要
scientific and
坚持
targeted manner.
稳字当头
In our work this year, we
稳中
must
求进
make economic stability our top priority and pursue progress while ensuring stability. In face of the new downward pressure, we have to put stable growth as our top priority. All localities and government departments should fulfill their responsibilities for maintaining stable microeconomic
有利
performance.
于
We
经
should
济
take
稳定的政策，
coordinated
要统筹
measures
稳增长
to keep growth stable, promote structural adjustment, and
加
carry
快
out
转
reform.
变发展
We
方式
should work faster to transform the growth model and say no to extensive development model. We should follow a fact-based approach and bear in mind that China is still in its primary stage of socialism. We have to manage our own affairs and respect the laws of development and the reality on the ground and the needs of our people. We should work in light of the actual conditions.
有效市场和有
We
为
should
政策
promote both an efficient market and a well-functioning
激
government,
发
and
市
we
场活
should
力
be
和社会创造
motivate the market dynamism and social creativity.
以人民为
We
中
must
心的
act
发
on
展
the
思
people-centered development philosophy and rely on the efforts of
扎实前
everyone
进，共同富裕，
so
不断
as
实
to
现
keep realizing the
人民
people's
对美好
aspiration
生
for
活的
a
向往
better life.
三
3.
2022年
Major
政府
tasks for
任务
2022.
今年
This year,
经济社会
we
发展
face
任务
heavy
重
tasks and many
挑战多
challenges in economic
要
and
按
social
照以
development.
习近平
We
总
should
书
follow
为
the
核心的党
decisions
中
and
央
requirements of the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi
完整
Jinping as core,
全面贯彻
apply the new development philosophy in full and in the
加快
right
构
way.
建新
We
发展
have to move faster to create a new pattern of the development and promote high quality development so as to deliver solid outcomes in all areas.
着力稳定
First,
宏观经济大盘
Achieving stable
保持经济
microeconomic
在合理
performance
区间
and keeping major
提升
economic indicators within the appropriate range. We have
今
to
年
improve
识字率
the
立
stability,
按2.8%，
and also we have to see that the proactive fiscal policy is more effective,
有利于
The deficit to GDP ratio is 2.8%, slightly lower than last year. This will be boosting the fiscal sustainability. It is projected that the fiscal revenue will continue to grow this year. We also have available to us the surplus profits of state-owned financial institutions and the state monopoly business operations from recent years turned over in accordance with the law and funds transfer from the central budget stabilizing fund. And this will increase the greater fiscal resources at our disposal. All of these funds will be channeled to local levels so as to ease the difficulties of enterprises, stabilize employment, meeting living needs, and increase the consumption and demand. This year, the central government expenditure will increase by 3.9%. And the budgetary spending of central government will continue to register negative growth. The central government transfer payment to local government will be close to 9.8 trillion yuan, up by 18%. And this is the largest increase in recent years. The central government will place more budgetary funds under the mechanism for direct allocation, and the provincial level government should also provide additional fiscal support to these levels. It is important that for the local governments are both able, motivated to carry out policies that will benefit the business and the people. We will use government investment funds to stimulate and expand effective investment. This year's special bonds for local governments will total 3.65 trillion yuan. We will take a lot of approach to ensure that investment will stay with the projects, and also the civil investments will account for a large portion. We have to make sure that the government funds have played a key role so that we will give full play to the leveraging role of the major projects and the government investment and refine relevant supporting policies. Government will keep its belt tightened and keep spending low to benefit the people. So for the provincial government and the municipal government should take the lead. They have to control the general expenditures and they have to reject extravagance. For those who have abusive use of the public funds will be penalized. We have to make sure that our precious fund can be used in the areas that is crucial to the development and meet the urgent needs of our people. We will step up implementation of the prudent monetary fund. We will use the monetary policy tools to adjust both monetary aggregates and the monetary structure so as to provide more robust support for the real economy. We have to maintain a stable leverage ratio. The RMB exchange rate will be kept generally stable and at adaptive balance level. We will further improve the transmission mechanism of monetary policy. We have to reduce the fees, make sure that we could benefit a great number of market entities so that the financing fees will be significantly reduced. We will strengthen the employment first policy. The fiscal and the financial policies will facilitate the implementation of the employment first policy. All the localities have to work to expand the employment. Make sure that we have safety in the energy and food. Making sure that we could supply sufficient food and energy. We will improve our capacity to provide this food, making sure that the price levels will be kept generally stable. We will prevent and diffuse major risks. We will continue to address all of these responsibilities in all the localities. We will take rule-based measures to diffuse the risk, making sure that there's no systemic risk arise. Second, keeping the operation of market entities stable and maintaining job security by strengthening micro policies. We will implement a new package of tax and fee policies to support enterprises. We will continue to temporary steps and institutional measures to apply policies for both tax reductions and refunds. First, we will extend the tax and the fee reduction policies and support the manufacturing, SMEs, and self-employed individuals and expand the scale and scope of these policies. To the small-sized taxpayers, we will exempt some of the VAT taxes for the SMEs if the revenue is between 1 million to 3 million RMB. Their tax will be further halved. Local governments should also adopt effective tax and fee reduction steps based on local conditions and in accordance with the law to maintain the scale of the tax and fee reductions and keep the market expectations stable. Second, we need to improve the cash flow of the enterprises, promote the consumption-driven investment, and further improve the system for refunding VAT credits. We will also issue the VAT credit refunds on a big scale this year. And this year, we will work to fully resolve problems in refunding VAT credits, especially for the SMEs. By the end of June, all of these deductions will be refunded. And for the central government, will also provide greater fiscal support, and especially will focus on the area of the manufacturing, research, and the technical services, environmental protection, electricity and gas, and the transportation industries. Such a substantial increase in VAT credit refunds will help strongly boost the market confidence. Tax refunds and costs are expected to total 2.5 trillion yuan this year. VAT credit refunds will account for 1.5 trillion yuan of this sum, and all go straight to enterprises. The central government will provide greater fiscal support for local governments and allocate fiscal subsidies directly to the prefecture and the counties. Local governments and relevant departments should develop sound systems to allocate funds more effectively. Make sure that we can provide assistance and help to the enterprises when they are in need. We will encourage the financial sector to provide more effective support to the real economy. Especially, we will provide more loans to the micro and small business and increase relending for agriculture and small enterprises. And especially for the enterprises hit hard by the COVID-19, we will provide financing support, making sure that there is no arbitrary termination of the loan agreements. And we have to cover the wider range, so we are forming a good environment so that we could serve the real economy, especially to resolve the issue for the SMEs for their difficult access to the financing. We will help lower business costs. We will rectify excessive subcharges levied by unity companies and support local governments in adopting temporary preferential policies. We will encourage large platform enterprises to lower service fees. And also will launch initiatives to end unjustified charges levied on business and develop mechanisms for coordinated regulation and joint punishment. We will intensify efforts to get outstanding payments owed to small and medium-sized enterprises cleared, especially for those enterprises that have been badly hit by COVID-19. We will provide stronger support to those enterprises and the sectors so that they could sustain and gain success in the future. We will fully implement all measures to stabilize employment. We will continue the policy of refunding unemployment insurance premiums for enterprises that make no cuts or minimum cost to staff members. This year, over 10 million students are due to graduate from college this year. We will give our graduates stronger policy support for the services of employment. We will also provide support to the veterans, and also will assist people with disabilities and members of zero-employment families in securing jobs. We will do more to promote business startups and innovation initiatives and improve the service capacity of entrepreneurship and innovation platforms. We will provide more vocational trainings and use over 100 billion yuan from the Unemployment Insurance Fund to support enterprises so that more people can gain skills and specialties. So we will foster more talented people to come in all aspects of the society.
Third, steadfastly deepening reform to strengthen market vitality and internal momentum for development. To develop a socially market economy, we should step up efforts to transfer government functions, and also we need to build our market and create it as a market-oriented, law-based and internationalized business environment. We need to further deepen our reform to streamline administration, upgrade our services, and also continue to expand our market access. List-based management will be fully implemented for matters requiring government approval, and we will continue our efforts in the government service on a cross-provincial basis and realize mutual nationwide recognition of the A license. We will continue to make sure that our government at all levels perform their duties, and will continue to implement a fair competition and also make sure that we take our stronger action against monopolies and unfair competition to ensure a well-ordered and fair market environment. We will promote the common development of enterprises under all forms of ownership, and we will uphold and further improve the basic socialist economic system and also consolidate and develop the public sector and non-public sector. We will continue to have a good understanding of the defining feature of capital and also continue to launch further policies to support the private sectors. We will also continue to promote the entrepreneurial spirit and also support them to do their jobs and develop their businesses free from undue concern. We will advance reforms of the fiscal, taxation, and the financial system. We will further reform a performance-based budgetary management and strengthen the budgetary constraints and the transparency. We crack down on tax evasion and fraud in accordance with the law. We will strengthen and refine financial regulation, further reform the equity structure and corporate governance of small and medium banks. Fourth, further implementing the innovation-driven development strategy and strengthening the foundation of the real economy. We will continue our 10-year action plan on basic research to ensure stable support over the long term, and we will continue to engage international scientific and technological cooperation and step up efforts to build talent centers and make sure that they devote themselves to research and realize their full potential. We will promote greater synergy between industry, academia, research, and application. We will promote the development of virtual capital, and we enhance the policy on granting additional tax deduction for R&D. For the small and medium-sized tech enterprises, will deduct from 75% to 100%. And the government will also give more support in terms of government funding to these enterprises in terms of innovation endeavor. So these enterprises can invest more in R&D and generate and build up new drivers of growth. We will boost the core competitiveness of manufacturing. We will upgrade the traditional industry and speed up the development of advanced manufacturing cluster and the national program to foster a cluster of strategic emerging industry. We will encourage development of the digital economy, and also we focus on the internet industrial internet and build up digital industries.
推进
Fifth,
区域协调发展和
expanding
新
domestic demand and promoting coordinated regional development and new urbanization.
多渠道
We will do our best to restore the
推动线
consumption
上线下消
and
费
also promote the deep integration of online and offline
生活
consumption
服务消费
so we can promote recovery in consumption of consumer services.
养老托幼等配套设施
We will
建设
step up the construction of supporting facilities for community elderly and child care. And we will protect our consumers' rights and interests, ensure public demand is met, and encourage people to spend. We will increase effective investment, and we will construct the major projects, and also the upgrading of urban pipelines, including those for gas supply, will be accelerated. Flood prevention and the drainage facilities will be improved. Investment from the central government budget will reach 640 billion yuan this year. The government will make improving the people's well-being an investment priority and work harder to shore up weak links in these
深入实
areas.
施区域重大战略
And we will continue our efforts to make sure that the regions can develop in a balanced and coordinated manner.
经济困难地区要用
For the leading major ecological developed provinces, they should leverage their strengths to play a bigger role in driving development of the whole country. We will improve new urbanization initiative,
再开工改造一批城镇老
and
旧
we will
小区
continue
促进大
to
中小城市
upgrade and
和小镇
renew
协
the
调发展
old residential communities in urban areas and promote the development of the environment and renovation for the convenience.
大力抓好农业生产，促进乡村
Boosting the
振兴
agricultural production and promoting all-round rural
粮食等重要
revitalization,
农产品
we will step up efforts to ensure stable production and sufficient supply of the grain and other important agricultural products, especially for the production of the soybeans and other oilseed crops. And also we have to increase the minimum purchase
再次
prices.
发放
And also we will incentivize the major grain producing areas.
耕地红
We
线，
have to make sure that we will maintain the red line of the 120 million hectares,
加强
and
加快
also
推
to
进
create high standard crop line by 6.67 million
各方面
hectares.
要共同努力，
We have
装
to
满
work
米袋子，
together,
充实菜篮子，
making sure that we can
14亿
fill
多
all the rice
中国
back,
人的饭碗，
making sure that we could secure food supply for more than 1.4 billion Chinese people.
全面巩固拓展
We will fully consolidate and build on our achievements in poverty elimination, making sure that people will not fall back to poverty, and making sure that we provide support for people who have been moving out
加
of
强
the
扎实
impoverished
稳妥
regions.
推进农
Will
村
enhance the
改革发展
self-development
加强
capacity of the
水
areas.
电路气信邮
Especially, we
基础
have
设施建
to
设
provide
强化
support
农
for the
民工公
construction
司
of the
拖欠
facilities.
治理
We will increase the income for the migrant workers and also support them for their employment, making sure that all the farmers have more opportunities to increase their income.
七
Seventh,
扩大高水
pursuing
平
high
对外开
standard
放，推动
opening up and promoting stable growth of foreign
外贸
trade
外资平稳发展，
and investment.
多侧并举，稳定
We
外
will
贸，
adopt a package of steps to stabilize the foreign trade. We will expand the coverage of the export credits insurance for micro, small, and medium foreign
积
trade
极扩
firms,
大优质产品和服务进口，
and making sure that we can
深化
import more
通
premium
关便
products,
利化改革，
and also we will
加快
facilitate
国际
the importation
物流体系建
procedures
设，助力
and
外
also
贸
to build up
降
more
低
logistic centers so as to reduce the
积
cost.
极利用外资，
We
落实
will
好
make greater
外资
use of
企
the
业
foreign
国民待遇
investments. We see that an active list for foreign investment is fully observed and ensure national treatment for all foreign investing enterprises. We will encourage all of these key projects to be implemented as soon as possible. We will take solid steps to develop pilot-free trade zones.
各国企业在
For the opening up, China will sure to provide even greater business opportunities for foreign enterprises in China. We will promote high-quality cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative.
共商
We stay committed to the principle of achieving shared growth through
互联
consultation and
合
collaboration.
作基础，有
And
序
we will,
开
on
展
the basis
对
of
外
consolidated cooperation and enhancing
有效防
connectivity,
范海外风险，
we will try our best to diffuse the overseas risks.
区域
We
全
will
面
deepen multilateral,
经济
bilateral,
伙
economic,
伴
and
关
the
系协
trade
定
cooperation.
形成了
The
全球
RCEP
最
has
大自由
created the largest
要
free trade
支持
zone
企
in the
业
world. We'll
扩大
encourage
贸易
enterprises to
和
make
投资
good
合作，
use or preferential tariff treatments,
维护多边贸易
combination of origin, and also we
与
have
世
to
界
uphold
各国
multilateralism
加强互利合作，
and also
实现
to
共赢，
foster a mutually beneficial cooperation with countries
持续
around the
改
world.
善生态环境，
Continue to improve the environment and promoting green
加
and
强
low carbon
生态环
development.
境综合治理，
We will take
深入
holistic
打好
steps to improve
污
the
染
environment.
防治攻坚战，
We have to work
完善
hard to win the
节
battle
能
against the
环保
pollution.
产业
We will
支持政策
utilize the clean
统筹
energies in
山
protecting the
水
environment.
林田湖草
We
沙
have to make sure all of the natural
要让我
resources
们
can
的
be
生活
fully
的家
leveraged,
园更美
making sure that
更美。
we have a greener and more beautiful
有
places
序
to
推
live.
进碳达峰、碳中和，
And also we will do our
落实
best to
碳达
achieve
峰
the carbon
行动方
neutralization
案
goal, and also we will
立足
take
资源禀赋，坚持先立后
necessary
破，
measures
统
to
盘谋划，
make that
推进
possible.
能源
We'll
低
push
碳
forward the transformation toward low carbon
加
development.
强煤炭清洁
We will
高效
work harder
利
to make coal usage
推进
cleaner and more
绿色
efficient,
低碳
and
技
we
术
will work to
研
upgrade
发
coal-fired power
推进
plants to conserve resources,
加快
reduce
形成
carbon emissions,
绿色
and make
生产
operation
方
more
式
flexible and operating heating facilities.
切实
Ninth,
保障和改善民
Ensuring
生
and improving the
加
people's
强
well-being
和
and
创新
promoting better and new
社会
ways
治理
of conducting
促
social
进
governance.
教育公平与质量
We
提
will
升，
improve the fairness
落
and
实
quality
立
of
德树人
education.
根本任务，
We will
推动
ensure that
应教
education performs
优
its fundamental
均衡
mission
发
of
展
fostering
保
virtue.
障适龄儿童
We will
就
promote
近
high
全
quality,
面落实
well-balanced
义务教育
development.
教师工资待遇，
And also
多
we
渠
will
道
try our
增
best
加
to
普惠
increase the
型学
income
前
for
教
the
育资源
teachers
办好
and
特殊教育
provide more
继续
teaching
规范
resources.
民办教育发展，改善
And
职
also
业
we
教育
will
办学条
regularize
件
the
支持
occupational
中
education,
西部高等教育
and also
发
we
展
will support the
高校招
high
生
level
继续向
education as well.
继续加大对中西部和农村地区倾斜力度，
And also we will provide
我国
more
有
resources to the
2.9
western
亿在
region
校
and
学
the rural
要
areas.
坚持把教育这个事关
We have
千家
put
万户
education as our
和中华民族未来
top
的大
priority
事
because we have
办成
around 290 million students in schools and universities in China.
提高医疗卫生
We
服
will
务能
improve
力
medical
居
and
民
health services
医保和基本公共服务经费
and
人均
making
财
sure
政
that
标准分别在提高30元和
we could increase by
完善
30 yuan per
跨省集
person
体就医
for
直接结算办法，
their basic medical
逐步提高
insurances,
心脑
and
血管
subsidies for basic public health
癌症等
services will be
疾病
increased
防
as
治
well.
服务
And
保
also
障
we will provide
加强
more services
罕见
to treat units such
病
as the
用药
cardiovascular and
健
other
全疾病
serious
防
diseases
预
and
防
cancer.
控制网络，支持
We have to
中医药
build a
振兴
network
发展，
and also to
推动
revitalize the
优质
TCN.
医疗资源向市县延伸，
We will also extend
使
our
群
medical
众
resources
就
to
近得到
different
更
areas
好医
of
疗
the
服务。
country.
We will channel more high-quality medical
加强
resources to the
社会保障
prefecture and the
服务，
county
适
level,
当提高
ensure people can access
退休
higher
人员
quality
基本
medical
养老
services
金
close
和
to
城
home.
乡居
We
民
will improve
基
social
础养
security
老
and
标
social
准，
services,
做好
and we will
军
also
人
continue to increase
军
basic
属
old
退
age
休人和
insurance
其他
funds.
优抚对象，优
We
待
will
服
move
务
faster
工
to
作
promote
不续
a
工作
unified management of workers'
积极应对
compensation funds,
人口
and
老
we
龄
will
化
see that service
优化
members and their
城
families,
乡
ex-service
养老
members,
福
and
祉
other entitled groups
完
receive
善
the benefits
三
and
孩
subsidies
生育政
they
策
are
配套
entitled
措施
to. We will promptly
将
respond
3岁
to
以下
pollution
婴
aging.
儿
We will
照顾
improve the
费用
supporting
纳入
measures
个人
for the
所得
three-child
专项
policy.
扣
Make
除
care,
专项
make
附加
care
扣除
expands for children under
加
3,
强
part of
民
the
生
special
都提保
additional
障和
deduction for
预困
individual
群
income
众
tax.
救助
And we will
努力做到
continue to meet
应
people's
保尽
housing needs, and
应
we
速
will
尽
also
速
continue our efforts to meet people's basic needs. Make sure that our social
继续保
safety
障
net provides
群众
support and
住房
assistance
需求
to everyone who
坚持
needs it.
房子是用来住的
Regarding
不是用来
housing
炒的
issues
并
guided by the
支持
principle
合理房
that the
稳
houses
地价
are not for
稳
living
房
in,
价
not
稳地区
are for living in, not for
因城施策
speculation,
促进
we will
房地产
explore
业
new models for
良
housing
性循
development.
环和健康
And we will see a
丰富
healthy
人民
development
群
in
众
the housing
精神
market.
文化生活
We will continue to enrich
培育和
people's
践行
intellectual
社会
and
核心
cultural
价值
lives.
观
We will promote
繁
and
荣
observe the
新闻
core
出版
socialist
包括
values.
影视
We will see
文
that
学
the
艺术
price
哲学社会
and
科
the
学
publishing,
文案等
radio, film,
深入
and
推进
television,
全民
literature, and art,
扩大优质
philosophy,
文化
social
产
science,
业
and
和互动
archiving
性
all
建
flourishing.
设群众身边的体育
We will develop digital public cultural service and also to build the facilities for our people so people can get access to all these facilities at home and promote extensive public fitness activities. We will advance social governance based on collaboration, participation, and common gains. We will work to ensure that the work developed in the sectors of the social organizations, humanitarian assistance, volunteer services. We will crack down hard on the trafficking of women and children and protect their lawful rights and interests.
健全老年人、残疾人关爱服务体系，完善信访。
We will improve the system for handling public complaints, identify and diffuse social problems, and will also increase our capability in the defending disaster. We will continue enhancing the building of our national security so we can build China a peaceful China and advancing the rule of law in China. Fellow deputies, facing new developments and tasks, we in government at all levels must fully act on the guiding principle from the party's 19th National Congress and the plenary session of the 19th Party Central Committee. We should acquire a deep understanding of the decisive significance of the two establishment, the four consensus, two confidence, and two upholds. We should closely follow the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping as core in thinking, stance, and action. We remain committed to law-based governance administration, and our government will, in compliance with the law, accept the oversight of people's congresses and their standing committee at the corresponding level, and we will ready commit ourselves to public oversight and oversight through public opinion. Audit-based and statistic-based oversight will also be strengthened. We will keep working tirelessly to ensure full and strict party self-governance and do more to improve party conduct, build integrity, and prevent corruption. All of us in government must readily accept the oversight of the law, supervisory bodies, and the people, always regard the people's interests as our highest concern, and truly serve as public servants of the people. In the face of difficulties and challenges, it is vital that all of us in governments at all levels perform our duties, work diligently for the people. Development remains the top priority for China, and we must fully act on the new development philosophy to pursue high-quality development. We must continue to implement the Central Party leadership's 8-point decision on improving conduct and work tirelessly to oppose wrongdoings. We will firmly oppose a precautionary attitude and passing in government. We must always keep in mind the people's security and well-being and work to understand the realities, take specific steps, and deliver solid outcomes to promptly respond to the people's concern. And we will also take strong measures against any wrongdoings and also disregard for the people's legitimate rights and interests. We make sure there's no one-size-fits-all approach and refrain from making local governments taking excessive policy steps. We will improve the mechanism for providing incentives and protections to support officials who readily take responsibility and abide perform their duty. We believe that there is no doubt we can accomplish new achievements in pursuing development. Fellow deputies, we will continue to practice and improve the system of regional ethnic autonomy, focus on forging a strong sense of community among the Chinese people, promote interactions, exchanges, and integration among all ethnic groups, and speed up the modernization drive in ethnic minority regions. We will adhere to the party's basic policy on religious affairs, follow the principle that religions in China must be Chinese in orientation. We will fully implement the party's policy on overseas Chinese affairs, protect the lawful rights and interests of Chinese nationals residing abroad, returned Chinese and relatives of overseas Chinese nationals residing in China. Fellow deputies,
国防和军队建设
last year we made
重大
major strides in strengthening national defense and the armed
新的一年
forces, getting off to a good start in this endeavor in the 14th five-year plan. This year we will fully implement Xi Jinping's thinking on strengthening the armed forces and the military strategy for the new era, work toward the goal for the centenary of the party's liberation army in 2027, and strengthen party leadership and party building in all aspects of the military, and we will enhance our military training and combat readiness, and carry out a military struggle and safeguard China's sovereignty, security, and development interests. We will move faster to mobilize the military's logistics and asset management system and build a modern weaponry and equipment management system. We will continue the reform of national defense and the military and step up innovations in defense science and technology. We will implement the strategy of strengthening the military by training competent personnel in the new era, run the military in accordance with the law and strict discipline, and promote high quality development of the military, and we will improve the layout of defense science, technology, and industry. And we will finish reforming the defense mobilization system and raise public awareness of national defense. And the unity between the military and the government and between the military and the people will remain rock
我们要
solid.
继续全面准确
Fellow deputies, we will remain our firm commitment to the letter and spirit of the policy of one country, two systems, under which the people of Hong Kong administer Hong Kong and people of Macau administer Macau.
爱国者
We will ensure that the central government exercises overall jurisdiction over the two SAR and also uphold the principle that Hong Kong and Macau should be governed
改善民生
by
更好地
patriots.
国家发展大局，保持
And we will help
香港
Hong Kong and Macau
长期
develop their economies and improve the well-being of their people, and see that these two regions
我们要坚持
integrate
对台
into the
独
country's
大
overall
规模
development and maintain long-term
贯彻新时代
prosperity and
解
stability.
决台湾问题
We remain committed to a major
坚持
principle
一个
and
中国
policy
原则
on work
和
related to
九二共识
Taiwan, to the party's overall policy for resolving the Taiwan question in the new era, and to the One China principle and the 1992 consensus.
坚决反对
We
外部
firmly
势力
oppose any
干涉
separatist activities seeking Taiwan independence, and firmly oppose foreign interference. All of us, Chinese on both sides of the Taiwan Strait, should come together to advance the great and glorious cause of China's rejuvenation.
各位代表，
Fellow deputies,
我们要坚持独立自主的和平外交政
China
策，
will continue to pursue an independent foreign policy of peace, stay on the path of
推
peaceful
动建
development,
设新型国际关
work
系，
for a new type of international relations, and endeavor to build a human community with a shared future. We will pursue the global development initiative and promote the shared values of all
始终是
humanity.
世界和平的建
China
设
will always work to safeguard world peace, contribute to world development, and preserve international order.
国际社会
We stand ready
为促进
to work with all
世界
others
和
in the
平
international community
稳定
to make
与发
new
展
and greater
繁荣
contributions to
做出
promoting
新
world
的
peace,
更大贡
stability,
献
development, and prosperity.
各位代表，
Fellow deputies,
中国的发展从来
it
都
has
是在应
always
对
been
挑
in the
战中
course of
前
meeting
进。
challenges that China has
中国人
advanced its development.
有战胜
With the
任何
Chinese people
艰难
have
险
the courage, vision, and strength to overcome any
我们要更
obstacle
加紧
or
密地团
difficulty.
结在
We
以
must
习近
rally
平
more
同志为
closely
核心的
around the
党
CPC
中央
Central
注
Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, hold high the banner of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and follow the guidance of Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era.
砥砺奋进
We will meet challenges squarely, forge ahead, determinedly work hard to fulfill this year's goals and tasks, set the stage for the 20th National Congress of the CPC with concrete actions, and continue working tirelessly to build our country into a great modern socialist country that is prosperous, strong, democratic, culturally advanced, harmonious, and beautiful, and to realize the Chinese dream of national rejuvenation.